Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mast, and welcome back to some more SMITE A to Z. Today we're playing Amaterasu in the solo lane. Amaterasu is a god that doesn't fit super well into solo and doesn't fit super well into support either, but she's really strong in the late game, and normally you find her in the solo lane because she doesn't have enough hard CC for the support role. So she's kind of a god that feels like she doesn't have a place in the early game, if that makes sense. She's just not very good in the laning phase of the game, but she gets really good later in the game because of her aura and because of her ultimate, so she's worth playing, but she feels really clunky early on. So kind of the moral here is normally on Ama, you're going to lose lane, and really your goal is to try and get to late game without losing too much farm, and then make up for, you know, your lack of presence in the early game, if that makes any sense. Because normally warriors are good early game, Amaterasu is really not so much, and so she feels a lot different because of that. All right, let's get her blue real quick. So let's go ahead and go into her abilities a little bit, start talking about what makes Amaterasu Amaterasu. So starting off with her passive, this doesn't really make her Amaterasu at all, but it is an ability, and so it's worth talking about. Her passive really doesn't fit her, and it's actually one of my least favorite passives for any god in the game, if not my least favorite, because it doesn't make any sense on her. You can actually see it right now. You might see this little spinny thing on the floor. That's her passive. What happens is when you hit anybody, god or minion, 3 times with auto attacks, they will create an aura for 5 seconds that weakens them and enemies around them for 10% more damage. So basically, you're just making people more prone to damage, and that's really good, but it's not so good on a god that mostly doesn't auto attack, except in the very beginning of the game when she's starting to just kind of, you know, get her clear online and stuff. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for her. It is really strong, but it just doesn't really fit her character, and that's why I'm not such a big fan of it. Let's go ahead and clear wave a little bit here. We can go and start talking about her 1 a little bit as well. Her 1 is definitely not something that we're going to be working with too much quite yet, but it is a really integral part of her kit, and that is her aura. And it's really probably her best ability even out of her ultimate, because her aura gets so strong as you get later into the game. So you can have either a power aura or a speed aura. This goes from 10 power to 30 power as you rank it, and 5% movement speed to 25% movement speed as you rank it. And pressing 1, which we'll get at our 4th level, is going to just flip-flop between them. But you also get a heal out of the ability, which goes from 15 over 4 seconds, so that's 15 per second for 4 seconds at level 1, to 55, I believe? Yeah, 55 at max rank of 5. So this gets really strong. It starts pretty weak. 60 healing is not so good, but it gets up to 220 healing, which is actually pretty good. And it has a really low cooldown of 9 seconds base. So basically, as you actually get leveled up, and especially if you get any cooldown reduction in your build, which I personally don't recommend, but some people do, then you get a lot of healing, and that helps you a lot in lane. So even though we don't have a super strong laning phase, that definitely helps as we get more towards the mid game, and we can start spamming our 1 quite a bit and getting a lot of healing out of it. Right now, we still get some, but we don't get a whole lot. It's also worth noting for the aura, you normally want to try and stay, if you're staying in a stance, if you're not just spamming it, you normally want to try and stay in that power aura, because it is going to help you clear wave and box in lane, which is a lot more valuable. All right, we got our ultimate. We're going to head back to base real quick, go into Hilaria boots, and we can head on back to lane. There we go. Okay, so we can start talking about the 2. We've been using the 2 quite a bit. That's our main clear ability. It's our main damage ability. It's a really weird ability. It feels a lot different from most of the different abilities in SMITE. There's not really another one quite like it, but it's actually pretty strong. And if Amaterasu didn't have it, she would just kind of suck. So really capable ability. The downside is that it's one of your only abilities that you actually use consistently for wave clear and or boxing. So you don't have a lot of boxing potential, and pretty much for the most part, the little bit you do have is going to come from that too, which kind of sucks that you don't have anything to follow it up with. All right, let's actually... Oh, rip. She body blocked that. I was going to say let's go ahead and go for some clear. So as you can see, I kind of brought up earlier that we get bullied in lane, right? That is just starting to show now as Amaterasu, or not Amaterasu, but Artio gets some more levels online. Because, yeah, we do get absolutely bullied. We're not a good lane god at all. Because we have an aura, we have a dash that gets blocked by gods, doesn't clear wave that well. It's very easy to block this. We have an ult that is an ult, so we don't get to use it very often, and we have our 2. So for the most part, we have our 2 when we're laning, and that's why Amaterasu struggles quite a bit in lane. We can dash sometimes, and that's nice, but it's not something we get to do all that often because it's a really long cooldown, and it doesn't do all that much damage, so we don't really get to rely on it for too much. But yeah, the 2, the way it works is you basically start channeling the ability. It'll automatically cast itself 5 seconds in, but you can cast it preemptively by pressing 2 again. and it does 210 base damage at max rank, but as you take and or deal damage, it charges up to 420, so doubling the base damage, which is really good. So you can see that little icon in the bottom left right here. It was just at a bright yellow because we had it pretty much fully charged. I think we had it fully charged. And so as it charges up, this thing will shine up, and we can try and just kind of measure it based off of that little passive icon. We'll try and actually get one of the totems for once. Might as well try and hit RDO with it. She got it. That sucks, man. We actually might be able to kill her, but we don't have her 2 quite yet, so I don't think so. Here, if she sticks around, we can kill. She's being greedy. Actually, Nem's ganking, so I think she just dies. Just trying to follow her dash. Yeah, she's dead. So greedy, man. I don't know why she wanted to, like, die for wave or totem, right? She stuck around so long there. That wasn't worth. Anyways, that is a little look at what we can do with the ultimate, right? The ultimate's actually pretty strong, but it is an ultimate, so we don't get a brawl with with it that often. So our gank potential is actually decent. We can help the jungle out, but in lane, we don't really get to rely on that ultimate too much, which kind of sucks because it is actually a pretty good ult. But with that too, like, you know, we know how the damage portion works and stuff like that. Now, it also comes with damage mitigation, which is really strong. So while you're channeling it, so if you cast it early, that means you lose it early. You gain damage mitigation, and that goes up to a really strong amount of 15% at max rank, which is nutty, man. You get so little damage mitigation throughout Smite, and 15% is an insane amount. That means that basically no matter what damage you're taking, you are mitigating it by that much, which is really, really powerful. So, pretty good ability to use defensively and when you're brawling, but because it is so often your wave clear, it's your only reliable source of wave clear, you normally don't get to use this much as a brawling ability, and more so a try not to take a billion damage ability, if that makes any sense, right? Because a lot of time people will be hitting you while you're clearing wave because you got to rush up to wave to clear it. So normally it's more so a way to mitigate some of that poke you take, especially versus an RDO, because she's very melee. She can kind of beat our ass while we're trying to clear wave. But yeah, we're actually going to ult this here because I just kind of want to box her out a little. Oops, I screwed up. Actually, no, I guess we hit everything. Never mind. I thought we missed the second hit, but I guess we didn't. It looked like it didn't do damage. I'm confused. All right, let's see how well we can box her. Because she keeps trying to fight, and I'm not having it. Yeah, our 2's not doing a whole lot. We'll just back off. Yeah, so as you can see, we use that ultimate, we get some decent damage out of it, and then we stop having ultimate and we don't do a whole lot. That's really, in most matchups, especially for somebody as brawly as RDO, that's why we're going to be a little bad in lane. But we actually do have a decent amount of pressure in lane so far, so we're doing all right. Nice, actually get to clear archers and hit her right there, which is pretty valuable. Yeah, no, I don't think... Oh, Merlin jungle, huh? Okay. I see ya. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to take that. I don't have ultimate right now. If she wants to go for the RDO, we can look for the RDO. Looks like she wants to go on the Merlin, so oh my god, we chunk. That was nutty. I don't think we're dead or anything here, so I'm just trying to save ult. We can heal up a little bit with our 1. I really want to kill the Merlin, man. I really want him to push up and let me kill him. Where'd he go? Merlin? Merlin? That didn't reach him? That sucks. All right. Well, that's too bad. Did I kill myself? I think we're out. Yeah? Yeah, looks like we're out. Okay. So we'll go sneak back to base real quick. We'll go get our Urchin finished off so we can start stacking that thing early in the game. Next up, we can start talking about our 3. The 3 on Amaterasu is not very good. It's just pretty mediocre of an ability. It does decent damage once you max it out, but early on it's only 70, which isn't much. As we have seen, it does stop on God's hit. It actually goes through wave, so it's decent wave clear, but because it's only 70, it doesn't do a whole lot. And it silences at the end of the dash. So basically whoever you hit with it, like if we're hitting RDO with it, that'll silence. And anybody really close to RDO, and they do have to be very close, I think it's like within 15 units, they'll get silenced as well. So theoretically, you can silence multiple people. Normally, you will only be able to silence one person, and it's just whoever you hit with it. So pretty simple ability. And then we can start talking about the ultimate, which we've used a few times now, which is a quirky ability. It used to be Guan Yu's ultimate before they reworked the character, which is a long time ago. And it's really strong in certain situations, but only certain situations. So It's a little weird of an ability, and we can kind of look at how it works, but basically it is a combo ability. It has 3 stages, and if you hit each stage, the next one will do more. So it increases in damage, it also increases in CC. So the beginning of the ability, or the first part of it that you actually hit, is not very... See, we're getting so bullied now that she's actually getting levels into her 3. And we're getting ganked at the same time, which does not make this easy. But we should be fine, because they're getting really greedy. Alright, we're actually going to turn on the Merlin a little bit here. Unless he just dips out like that, then we'll just chill. We do have a gank coming over from Nemesis. Looks like we have a gank coming over from Geb as well, so we should be alright. I wonder if I pushed up there, could we have actually silenced her in time and not, like, died for it? Looks like no, because Merlin's right here. Get that 2 off real quick. Hopefully we have a kill, man. I don't know if we do. Yeah, I can't really do anything for these guys. We don't have our ultimate up. Had to use it to try and stay alive. Oh, now that's pretty greedy. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah, we do so little with that, man. I've got to charge it up, and even then it's only doing like 200 because she's got defense right now. She's got that full breastplate. So that's a little rough. But yeah, the way the ultimate works, we can just go ahead and break down exactly how it works, which is the first hit does basically this. So right now, 125 on the first strike. The next strike will do 20% more damage and slow for 2 seconds. I'm actually not sure how strong this slow is. It doesn't say in the ability. I'm guessing about 30%, maybe 20% slow. I'm actually not totally sure how much it is, but I know it does last for 2 seconds. And the third hit does 40% more damage and will stun for 2 seconds. So if you can hit all of these, it's a really strong ability. If you hit 2, it's kind of okay. And if you hit 1, it's not good. And that includes, you can hit a god and then transfer it to another god, and that still works. It's just you need to hit some god with the ultimate for it to include the, the extra CC, the extra damage. So basically, when you're dealing with mobility and somebody's maybe jumping out of your ultimate, you get kind of screwed in how good your ultimate is, right? Where you're not able to actually get that combo effect off of your ultimate because you missed one of them, and so it's not as powerful. So that's where the ultimate gets tricky. But if you can stick to somebody, which we can do with RDO pretty well. Merlin's tough because he's got the teleport, but we can do it with RDO pretty well. We can actually stack the combo up. We can do more damage. We can stun for 2 seconds, which is huge, and it gets really strong. So it's kind of a weird ability because of that. It's potentially not so good, but it can be really, really good as long as we're able to land the combo and pull it all off. So hopefully that all makes sense. If anybody is confused, I'm trying to go through all the abilities and explain what they do for anybody who's not familiar. But if anybody is confused, feel free to leave comments. I'll try and pay attention, and we can talk about that stuff too if it doesn't quite make sense. One thing to note, I would be trying to silence her more often in this lane. She's doing a good job of crippling me with her 2, so that we can't use that dash to break the channel of her 3. Because she's got that druid stance channel where she's rooting us and healing and doing a lot of wave clear, and that kind of sucks to deal with. And in a normal situation where she doesn't have a cripple, she's a different god, then I can just silence her out of that, and we don't have to deal with it so much. But because she has the cripple, we don't get a dash, and so we don't have the silence to counter that, which kind of sucks. Okay, because we're dealing with a Merlin jungle and an RDO solo, they've got a lot of magic damage and will work into an Onis. Now we can start talking a little bit more about what we do playstyle-wise and what we do build-wise. So build-wise on Amaterasu, I don't recommend cooldown reduction. I think I've kind of vaguely touched on this early in the video. I don't recommend going cooldown reduction, which you normally see in the soul lane, especially on warriors, because she doesn't have cooldown she can take advantage of very often. Her 2 is a channel. It also has a somewhat long cooldown, so cooldown doesn't do a whole lot for that. Her 3 has an 18-second cooldown, so cooldown doesn't do a lot for that either, because you're not going to cast it very often no matter what. In her 1, you normally want to stay in a certain aura. You normally want the power aura, or you want the speed aura, and when you're in lane, you'll switch a lot for the heal, but outside of that, you're not. You're normally going to stay in a certain aura to help your teammates out. So because of that, cooldown reduction is not very good on her. It's not super valuable, and instead I like to go for aura items and just generally strong items that make her more valuable in the late game. So we're going Urchin, so we can try and stack that up early on and get a little more value in the late game, get that shield and those protections stacked up. And then also we're going to go into an Oni Hunter's Garb. That's an aura that keeps us, that gives us damage mitigation when we're dealing with multiple people. So that's a good item for us. We're not really worried about cooldown, so we don't need to go Genjis. I also really like Void Shield and Pestilence, and items like that. We're normally going to look for those aura items and those really valuable, kind of selfish items, and not so much the cooldown reduction that you normally see on characters like Ama. Okay, I'm finally going to get this word up. I don't know why I'm holding on to it. Yeah, look at how good this healing is, by the way. You can see this, right? Like, we don't even have cooldown, but we can spam it so often and heal so often that even when we're dealing with all this RDO poke, Nem's looking for a gank. We'll see if we can stick to her. Oh, she's just out of range. That sucks. Yeah, the ultimate can get a little tricky, man. It's easy to get baited thinking you'll go farther than you will. This could get real bad real quick. I don't think we can fight this at all. Yeah, no, I think we just try not to die. And I think we succeed in not dying. They're still chasing because they're actually crazy, but no, they're not going to catch me. We're out. They do get left tower. Not much to do about that one, man. 4-man gank in the solo lane out of nowhere. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I'm guessing they had vision, and so they just wanted to lock down Nem there on the rotation, but that's a little rough for us, man. There goes left tower. Let's go ahead and grab a Void Shield. Let's grab a Pestilence, man. They have a lot of healing. This makes a super magic defense stack. Normally we wouldn't do that. But they actually have a pretty magic damage stack team, so it should actually work. Whoops, that's not the item. What? Hello? Oh no, I don't even know why I clicked that. There we go. So that gives us a ton of magic defense. Normally you don't want to stack it that hard, but versus this team it actually works fine because we're dealing with a Chang'e mid, a Merlin jungle, and an Artio solo. So most of the damage we're dealing with is actually magic damage. As far as playstyle wise, we're actually going to be getting that pretty soon here, and that's going to be looking for rotations around the level pretty much 12 to 17. Like once you get into those levels, you start looking to rotate out of lane because laning phase is mostly over. And instead you can try and make yourself useful by being around your teammates. And Artio is going to be a pretty good example, I think, of how much more useful we become once we start rotating. Artio can do things, she can lock people down a bit, but she's really good in lane, and that's part of where her kit's centered around. She's a lot of damage, whereas we're a lot of support, a lot of utility that we can give our teammates. So normally that's going to be through the speed aura. Like if Nemesis, for example, wants to lock somebody down and I can stick with her, boom, we're giving her perma sprint until she kills them, right? Because we have 25% movement speed on the one. So it's really, really valuable. We can try and stick to her to help her out with that. And that's going to help her a lot with killing Merlin, for example. Maybe Merlin 3's away. She can't quite reach him. We walk right up to her, give her that 25% movement speed. And just like that, she's pretty much able to just kind of do whatever she wants to him because she's insanely fast. So it's a really strong aura. We're mostly going to try and focus on helping her use that, and the rest of our teammates use that too. Speaking of which, can we gank the man? Yes, we can. There we go. That wasn't the aura so much, but I think the silence helped out a little there. He did beads out of it. Okay, looks like nobody wants to go on the Artio here. Oh, maybe Nem does? No. Yeah, we'll see if we can get to this Chang'e, though. I'd love to clean her up. Yeah, we'll see if we can stick to the Chang'e and burn her up. There we go. Nice. We finish off the Chang'e. We can stick to the Erlang a little bit. Just kidding. Entire team is fighting Artio. Again, we're just kind of staying in the speed aura. We're not really switching for healing. We're not really switching for power, because this way we can speed them up if they actually get close. It helps them chase kills a lot. And now that we're actually going on the tower, we can switch to that power aura, and we can rely on that instead so we can kill the tower a little bit quicker, you know? So that's a pretty good look at how we're using Amaterasu in team fights. We're looking to get to somebody in the back line with the ultimate, and then we're looking to... I don't know why we would go for Phoenix there, man. That is not a good call. Yeah, no, back off, boys. Back off, chill. But normally we'll be looking for that power aura if we're really secure in a fight, like if people aren't running, you know, either direction, if they're chasing or if they're running away. Normally we want that speed aura. If not, then we'll stay in that power aura and help our teammates be stronger, whether it's for fighting or for taking objectives or whatever it might be. And then with that ultimate, yeah, we normally want to get to the back line. Sometimes we can peel people off if they're diving, like if somebody's diving, let's say like our Hera mid, then we can try and use the ultimate for that. But normally we probably want to use it the other way, which is dive into the back line and try and catch somebody there. Okay, so build-wise, we're probably going to work into a Void Shield next. It's one of my favorite items on Ama. Now that we're finally dealing with those physicals a little bit more, we've got a set, and then we've got, who is it? Erlang, that we've got to be dealing with its physicals. So I think Void Shield will be really nice for upping our Nemesis damage, unless she went it. No, she didn't go it. So yeah, we'll go Void Shield next. And that'll help her out. And it's too bad. It is not too bad. We get to actually have a game. What are you talking about? Who was it that DC'd? Somebody DC'd for like 2 seconds. The team's like, oh man. Yeah, Chang'e got DC'd for like 2 seconds. Team got all excited. All right, let's see if we can actually fight this here. A lot of it just comes down to trying to get people to make mistakes, man. You really don't have great kill potential on your own. Because again, they can just kind of jump out, dash out, whatever of your ultimate. So it's hard to really lock someone down. So a lot of the time you're looking for someone to make a mistake. And I think that mistake might have been made by Erlang. It was. Good stuff. Let's actually switch that power aura, help our team fight. Of course, team gets absolutely wiped right then. So maybe not the ideal aura now. Let's try and get this gold done real quick. The fight did not go. Hera, get out, man. Hera, I'm trying to speed. Here you go. There we go. Try and speed everybody out real quick. Set. Oh, I whiffed the 2. Baby blink. Okay, we can maybe do something here. At the very least, we can force them out of the fight. There we go. Yeah, we can't really kill him. Oh, that sucks, man. That was such a clunky fight. What happened was Honor was soloing Gold Fury the entire time, so that fight got really bad. That fight got miserably bad, which I don't know why we decided to solo Gold while there was like an obvious fight going on. Okay, so we're speedy as hell. We're just gonna smack them, man. There we go. I know you've got damage, dude. I don't care. I don't care. We've got a ton of magic defense. We're good. All right, so we can head on back to base real quick. We can work on that Void Shield. I'll let them know in case anybody's thinking about getting it. There we go. Yeah, so that's a really good example. It is tough in some fights to use your aura ideally, because you can get in situations where it's like, oh, I want to switch to the power aura. That'll be good for right now. And then everything changes and you want to be in the other one. And there's just nothing you can do about that. Whether you have cooldown or not, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just part of AMA. Generally, the tip I give is to try and stay in the speed aura in most situations, because it's a lot stronger on average. 25% movement speed is a stat you don't find very often in Smite. You find it on Talaria boots, you find it on Bumba's mask, and that is it. So it's an incredibly powerful stat, and it's way better than 30 power in most situations. But there are times where it's like, okay, well, free 30 power is still better than the movement speed that we're not even using. So it is something to think about, but normally you probably want to stay in the speed aura if you're worried about, you know, making the wrong decision. I don't even know why I'm doing that. We don't have anything we can do there. Somebody put a sentry down on fire. Yeah, Set's down there. Changa getting blown up. We don't even need to chase with ult yet. Yeah, I don't think we could chase Erlang through his 3 there, so I just held ult. Can we just group up and force a fire, please? Honor is all the way in right lane, man. I'm not sure about that one. Okay, RDO we probably can stick to. Let's try and chase her dash. There we go. We got her stunned. And dead. There we go, man. Good stuff. Good fights. All right. I don't think we can really do much more here unless Merlin puts himself in a bad... I don't know why he keeps going for me. You don't do damage. You're cute. He keeps going for me, man, and I don't get it. It's like, why? You should know by now. You don't do anything. Silenced. All right, we don't do anything to him either. Okay, we're definitely going to try and get that right, Phoenix, real quick if we can. Nem, I don't know about that one. Okay. I don't know why she thought that would work. Oh my god, man. Yeah, we're just trying to speed aura these boys out. That's why I'm just backpedaling, because we got to stay. One thing that I think I forgot to mention, that the aura only goes 30 units, so there are plenty of situations where you might not be able to stick to people and you think you are. So do make sure you're within those 30 units when you're trying to speed people up or give them power or whatever it may be. All right, well, we might be out. We might not be so much. Yeah, maybe not so much. God, they were insanely fast there. I can't believe they caught me. They did have a Changa with Shield of Regrowth. That makes a little more sense. Shield of Regrowth Changa. Jesus. Yeah, she's a speedy girl. She's a speedy girl. Couldn't get away from that one. All right, we can finish off the Void Shield. Next item, we're probably going to want... What will we want for that next item? By the way, we almost got Urchin stacked, which is super nice. So that'll be something to look forward to. They don't have too much auto attack, so I don't think we really need a Midgardian or anything. There are definitely a lot of games where I like that. Let's see. He actually got it on her. You're nuts. Absolute madman. Steals it with the ult through the wall. That's gross. But as far as aura, let's see. Is Geb going auras? He's going most of the auras, but not all the auras. He doesn't have a Thebes, so I think we'll actually work into a Gauntlet of Thebes. Help our team out with that. Since it doesn't feel like we can really use much else. All right. So anything else to really talk? I think we're pretty much good, man. I think we've pretty much covered Ama. It only took 24 minutes. Obviously we had a lot of stuff in between. She's not a super complicated character. It's just, she's definitely unique, right? So there's a lot of stuff where she plays very different from other characters, and you got a lot to think about because of that. Like she almost feels like somebody from an MMORPG compared to an actual MOBA, you know? Like she feels really different in a lot of ways. So she's, I guess maybe not so much an MMORPG, but some other game. She's got a very different play style than the typical gods, in Smite especially.
On my way.
Yeah, well, this actually might just be a kill on Merlin. If the boys are down, I think we can just frag the man. Can stick to him here with our ultimate. He will get stunned at the end. Is that enough? It is enough. Nice. Now, as long as Set doesn't get some absolute work done in the back line, we should be good. Okay, so the boys want to push up and try and take a right Phoenix here. It's going to be a little tricky now that our ult's down, but Geb has ult and everybody else has ult. Well, Argus kind of got used too, so I guess not so much, but it should be a pretty good fight if we want to force it, even though we don't have a fire to push with. I think we'll just try and initiate here and just try and get the boys in. As long as I can tank the Phoenix for them, they can just go on it, is the idea. Yeah, not so much the front line that we want to be doing that damage to. Not super ideal that we're just putting all that on RDO right now. Nice, that was actually really good. We were able to keep her from stunning them there. That was pretty huge. Use that silence for once in our lives because she just keeps crippling it. So annoying, man. Yeah, can we actually take the Phoenix now? Part of why that went bad is because I don't think Nem or On Her actually hit the Phoenix the first time around. Nem? Yeah, get out. Come on. Come on. Yeah, we're good. We're fine. I don't know why Honor's pillaring me off, but thanks. Appreciate it, man. I love that. Let's body block our teammate to death. Speaking of which. Nem, stop. Go back. God, man. So annoying. Please just back. All right, fire's gonna be coming up pretty soon. I think it's gonna wear off these guys in like 30 seconds. So that's something to pay attention to, that'll be coming up in around a minute 30 or so. So we'll definitely look for that, try and make sure that we can fight for it now that they've got a Phoenix down. Don't think we have any boys that'll catch up here. We're actually going to do something kind of a typical Amma play. Okay, Honor just doesn't care at all, which is try and speed up the boys so that they can actually get a chase. Because again, our aura doesn't reach very far. So even though normally you want to stick close to the enemy that you're chasing, you actually want to move away with Amma and try and speed up your teammates instead, if that makes any sense, right? Because that's how you actually speed them up to catch up. Changa might just be dead here. You might just be dead here. Yeah, no, that was a whoops. That was a whoops. All right, we didn't even have to ult for that, man. Gebolt is down, but everybody else's is up. Nemesis almost here. We can probably just force this. Okay, so I really want to look for Merlin. Merlin doesn't have great mobility to get out of my ultimate, so if I can get his 3 down, that'll make it a lot easier. Or they can just dive into our team, and we can just frag them. I like it. There's that 2-second stun, man. It's so good. The ult is so strong when we land that combo. It's nasty. It's so nasty. Again, we're just staying in speed aura. Speed the boys up. What? How did that... Hello, game? How did that not hit you? And why is no one killing you? And why don't you take any damage at all? There we go. God. I mean, we should probably just be able to end, but on her dipped out, so I guess not. Yeah, we can look for an FG instead. That's fine. Yeah, so that was actually a pretty good look at the fight. It got a little clunky because we ended up having to go... I don't know why they dove so hard because we went on Merlin, so Merlin didn't get to go up there, which is why it was really... Can this guy... He's literally trying to do this, isn't he? Trying to body block me. There's no way, man. It has to be on purpose. But Merlin, we zoned him off there. They tried to dive in anyways, and that doesn't go super well when you don't have your insanely high burst damage mage. They might steal this, man. We need some good secure from the boys. I'll try and secure it too. Good stuff. Really good stuff. That Geb did a good job zoning there too, which helped a lot. All right, so speed pot, not quite time. I guess we can go ahead and get it anyways, but we can't quite sell off our boots for anything. Okay, so we've got 2 Phoenixes down. Right Phoenix is coming up pretty soon. Left tower and left Phoenix are what we probably want to take next, although we do want to make sure right Phoenix goes down once it spawns, so we might make our way over there too. Probably make our way over to right lane. Make sure we get that, and then we can either look for end or look for the left lane and try and finish that off. We're in a really good spot, man. This should just, unless we throw super hard, this should just end up being game, because 2 Phoenixes, Fire Giant is, it's a pretty good look. It's a pretty good look, man. One thing I do want to know, if we weren't trying to be so team and aura focused this game, I might actually go a Wingblade to deal with that Gem of ISO from Ardio, and they might get one on Chang'e, although it looks like she didn't go that path. So slows can be a big deal for Amaterasu because it's harder to reach people with your aura. So Wingblade could be really good to try and deal with them. But it hasn't felt like enough of a problem this game for it to be warranted. So some games Wingblade can be really important. This game maybe not so much. Nice, she actually kept the Magi's there. All right, we might want to look for set here, although it's going to be hard to really stick to him. Okay, Honor got blown up. There goes Chang'e ult. Okay, so if Nem can look for the gank, we can try and do something here. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and ult the backline, try and force them off as much as we can. Yeah, they all blink out, but we force them off, so Ardio's in a lot of trouble. Not quite able to kill her, though. A lot of good damage. We should be able to get Phoenix off that. They're taking so much poke right now. Yeah, it's funny how that works, right? We actually had, in a way, a terrible ultimate, because we didn't hit anybody with a final hit, but they all had to force themselves off for that to happen. So we just forced 4 people to just position out of a fight, and that's really, really valuable. So let's kind of look at how strong ult can be. Because, like, that 2-second stun is terrifying. That's such a powerful ability. So they've got to try and watch out for it. Okay, I don't know why we're going around here. Can we just take left tower? Yeah? Erling being a little greedy. It's fine. We should just be able to run in and take it. Can actually pop our 2 for a little more mitigation if we want to. Chang'e getting greedy. Getting greedy. Oh, we don't have any damage to catch her. That's too bad. All right. I think we just reset here, yeah? I think we just reset. We don't have any ultimates left to fight with, so it's not great. Oh, they want to go mid. I don't know, man. This is a really good way to throw what we've worked for. I don't know if we want to go for that mid Phoenix. We do still have fire, but this could go really bad. I think what we'll try and do is we'll try and gank through the Phoenix. Oh, what? Why? Oh, they're fine. They just get to push mid off that. Once this man got hit anyways. They're just going to push mid off that, man. They're trying to 1v2 me while our team goes for mid Phoenix. Yeah, later. That wasn't the play. That wasn't the play at all, man. There's nothing to do here, guys. Just get out. Hera, please.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, we can go ahead and just try and regroup and look for fire once it comes back up. What the? Set is getting crazy. Leave my man alone. Yeah, these guys are so greedy looking for picks right now. They can, so our team needs to be careful about it because we don't have everybody grouped. That's why Geb shouldn't have pushed up where he did. But we can maybe turn on him for it. There we go. There's 1. Hopefully 2 in just a second. We'll try and speed our boys back up. Nice. Nem doing work. I like it. There we go. Finish off Merlin. That's pretty good stuff, dude. That's going to be almost game. They chased us so far. They took a ton of Titan damage. There we go. That'll do it. That was a stupid fight on their part. They tried to chase. The best case scenario is probably 1 pick there, like either me or Geb. And instead they chase out. We have 2 fire waves, so they get pushed to Titan. And it's just game. Yeah, it's just game. We're about to end right there. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully that gave you a feel for Amaterasu. Real quick, we can talk about kind of the key components of what to do while you're playing Ama, what to think about. And that's not a whole lot, but really the key idea is making sure you're working with your aura. You want to try and normally speed up your teammates, or in certain situations, power up your teammates. And by doing that, you want to really position kind of in the middle of, especially where your damage dealers are. Sometimes the front line, but normally the damage dealers like your mage, your ADC, and depending on who you have jungle, your assassin. For Nem jungle, definitely Nem. But normally trying to speed those guys up, power up those guys, and make sure that they have the chance to stick to people with their damage, or if they're getting dove, to run away from people that are dealing them damage, right? So that's really the main component of Amaterasu to think about. And then the other big thing is going to generally be looking for spots to use your ultimate really well to either force people into a bad position, like we used in that one fight. We hit 4 people with ult. They all ran for their lives because they didn't want to get 2 seconds stunned. You can use that to try and peel off someone who's diving your teammate. So if Hera is getting dove by, let's say, Set, if he's trying to dive our Hera, we can ult onto the Set in the back line and try and stun him off and give her a chance to either get out or even turn on and kill the Set. And we can try and look for dives into the back line for gods like Merlin, Chang'e, the mages, especially the mages and hunters, especially, who will look for with the ultimate. And clearly that worked really well with Merlin that game, right? We really shut Merlin down quite a bit, considering he's a Merlin and disgusting. He actually got punished a lot with those ultimates. So that went really well. Besides that, the 2, not a whole lot you do with it in the late game. The 3, normally not something you're silencing with a whole lot, but the one thing that you probably saw me do a little bit and that you want to look for a little bit is to use the 3 to cancel dashes like Erlang 3, Vamana 1, RDO 3. Ideally, if you can, other dashes that you can catch really early on, but those tend to be tricky. The ones like Thoth dash, Agni dash, they're quick enough, it's hard to catch them. If you can, it's really valuable to interrupt those. And then sometimes also ability channels like the RDO Druid 3 and other stuff like that channels over time, like Isis 1. But that should pretty much do it. Hopefully it wasn't too much information, too much to process. Honestly, Ama's not a super complicated character. It's just with these videos, I really try and break down everything you need to know so that you can actually use that going forward and have everything to think about going forward. And hopefully that helps you guys out quite a bit. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.
I've been seeking for the glory. Say my name. And I've been trying to write my own story in the search for fame. I'm sitting here in this empty room, walls keep tumbling down.